By 2029, the world will look radically different than it does today. We're on the cusp of a transformation that will reshape the way we live, work, and interact with each other, and with the world itself. Imagine a society where AI isn't just an assistant but an integral part of daily life, shaping everything from education to healthcare. Picture a global landscape where power is no longer concentrated in a single superpower, but shared across a multipolar world. Envision energy systems powered by renewables, space no longer a distant frontier but a bustling domain, and diseases that once seemed untouchable now cured or controlled through cutting-edge biotech. Work itself will evolve, with decentralized tech and new economic models changing how we earn, spend, and learn. This isn't science fiction. It's the trajectory we're on, and by 2029, it's set to become reality. Number 1. AI integration into daily life. By 2029, AI will no longer be a silent tool behind the scenes. It will be everywhere, shaping our choices, guiding our thoughts, and walking beside us in forms both visible and invisible. In homes, AI companions will speak with warmth and wit, remembering birthdays, analyzing moods from tone alone, and adjusting lighting or music to match emotions. In hospitals, algorithms trained on millions of cases will outperform even expert doctors in early diagnosis, spotting cancers, predicting strokes, saving lives silently behind glowing screens. Classrooms will shift too. A child in Nairobi and another in New York might learn side by side through an AI tutor fluent in every language, adaptive to every pace, and endlessly patient. But the drama lies not just in convenience, it lies in the trade-offs. As AI gains agency, the line between human decision and machine suggestion will blur. Courtrooms may consult predictive models before granting bail. Hiring managers might trust personality assessments created by algorithms. Artists, once irreplaceable, will compete with neural networks that dream in color and rhyme in perfect meter. Even love may not escape. AI partners, coded to listen, to learn, to never leave, may offer emotional satisfaction without the risk of heartbreak. The world of 2029 will not ask whether we use AI. It will ask how much of ourselves we are willing to hand over. And when machines know us better than we know ourselves, the question won't be, what can AI do? But, what does it mean to be human? This is not science fiction. This is the first heartbeat of a new era. Number 2. Shift in global power dynamics. Come 2029, the world will no longer orbit a single sun of power, instead, it will pivot on many. The once dominant post-Cold War order, with the US at its helm, will have fractured into a dynamic, volatile dance of rising powers and recalibrated influence. At the center of this seismic shift stands the US-China rivalry, no longer just a battle of GDP or military strength, but a clash of ideology, tech supremacy, and cultural sway. Trade wars may evolve into data wars. Cyber influence, quantum computing, and AI sovereignty will define national strength as much as aircraft carriers ever did. But the plot thickens. India's population will have surpassed China's, and with digital infrastructure expanding at light speed, its global voice will grow louder. Brazil, rich in resources and demographic energy, may emerge as a pivot point for South American power. And the European Union, long criticized for its bureaucratic sluggishness, could wield newfound leverage as a regulatory giant in the digital age, setting global standards on AI ethics, climate policy, and digital rights. This is the rise of a multipolar world, one where global decisions no longer stem from one capital, but from a chorus of competing visions. Alliances will shift like tectonic plates, fluid, reactive, and often temporary. Old enemies may become new allies. Strategic neutrality might become more valuable than alignment. And in the background, AI will act not just as a tool of power, but a weapon, a diplomat, a spy. The nations that tame it, wield it wisely, and protect their citizens from its excesses may not just survive, they may lead. The world of 2029 won't simply look different, it will play by entirely new rules. Number 3. Climate pressure hits hard. The sky no longer whispers change, it shouts it. Storms now churn where they never did. Rivers dry into cracked memories. Crops fail under sun that scorches like never before. In every corner of the globe, the climate is no longer a backdrop, it's a protagonist, fierce and unforgiving. Come 2029, the Earth itself has become a force that governments must negotiate with, not just manage. Coastal cities once built for prosperity now build walls against the rising sea. In the heartlands, farmers swap wheat for drought-resistant grains and pray the rain still remembers them. Water, the resource once taken for granted, now sparks quiet diplomatic crises and loud public protests. Climate migration is no longer a theoretical headline. It's a human tide, millions on the move, not for war or work, but simply to live. Entire regions are tipping. Some nations will adapt, investing in clean tech, resilient infrastructure, and regenerative agriculture. Others, crippled by corruption or conflict, may collapse under the weight of unrelenting heat, failing harvests, and vanishing water tables. And amid it all, the pressure to act, faster, bolder, together, builds like heat in a sealed room. But climate change is not just a threat. It is a test of leadership, of solidarity, of imagination. The science is clear. The warnings have long been issued. What remains is resolve. And so, the question isn't whether the world will change, it already has. The question is, who will rise to meet that change, and who will be swept away by it? The Earth has made its next move. Now it's our turn. Number 4. The wires hum with a different kind of power now. As 2029 unfolds, the global energy landscape teeters on a tipping point, not of collapse, but of transformation. The fossil-fueled giants that once powered empires are faltering, not from protest or policy alone, but from something more ruthless, economics. Solar and wind, long dismissed as fringe or fragile, have become not just viable, but dominant. In country after country, the cheapest way to generate new electricity is from the sun or the sky. Batteries, once the weak link in the renewable chain, are now the strongest. Thanks to breakthroughs in solid-state and lithium-air technologies, storage is longer, lighter, safer, and everywhere. Homes, vehicles, even cities pulse with captured energy, stored in silent vaults beneath streets and inside walls. And then, on the edge of possibility, looms something once thought science fiction: fusion. A prototype burns, small, contained, but real, offering a glimpse of near-limitless power with no carbon trail. Still a gamble, yes. But the odds are better than they've ever been. Electric vehicles dominate showroom floors, their prices dipping below gas-powered rivals. Charging stations spread faster than fast food franchises. Oil-rich economies scramble to reinvent themselves before the demand they once commanded disappears entirely. The position here is clear. The energy revolution is not a question of if, but of now. The only variable is who adapts quickly enough to thrive. The old world ran on fire. The new world runs on light, and the race to capture it is redefining the future. The age of combustion is flickering out. The age of clean power has already begun. Number 5. Space becomes crowded and commercial. They used to call it the final frontier. Now it's just the next expansion zone. By 2029, the stars aren't just for dreamers, they're for developers. The skies above Earth are busier than ever, a shimmering highway of satellites, survey drones, and transport shuttles. The moon? No longer a ghostly companion, but a construction site, its surface pocked with the first blueprints of permanent bases. At first, it was about pride. Then profit. Now it's necessity. Corporations like SpaceX and Blue Origin broke the barriers of cost and risk. Governments followed, not with flags, but with contracts. Mining rights. Data monopolies. Low-gravity research labs. Even space tourism, luxury trips with a view of Earth wrapped in silence. What used to be a privilege of astronauts is becoming a business model for millionaires. But with progress comes peril. Nations jostle for orbital real estate. Private companies lay claim to celestial bodies. Space debris threatens to shatter satellites and endanger lives. And all the while, one question hangs in the vacuum: who owns the sky? This isn't a space race. It's a space rush. A new economy is being born above our heads, one with no maps, no laws, and no limits. Some call it inevitable. Others call it. One thing is certain: history no longer ends on Earth. It just left the launchpad. Number 6. Biotech breakthroughs. They used to say fate was written in our genes. But in 2029, we hold the pen. Biotech has crossed a line, not in ethics, but in capability. CRISPR, once a scientific curiosity, now slices and splices DNA with the precision of a laser and the confidence of a surgeon. In labs around the world, silent revolutions unfold. A child once destined for a life of pain from sickle cell now runs free. A cancer cell is tracked, disarmed, and destroyed before a tumor ever forms. HIV? Contained at the genetic level, its blueprint rewritten into silence. But the breakthroughs don't stop at healing. Scientists are decoding the biology of aging itself. Cellular clocks, once thought irreversible, are slowing, paused, even rewound. Experimental drugs restore muscle, sharpen memory, and lengthen lifespan. What was once science fiction, living longer, living better, now walks the tightrope between possibility and reality. And with every advancement, the world shifts. Who gets access? Who decides what normal looks like? What happens when you can edit not just disease, but potential? In boardrooms and governments, these questions stir quiet unease. In homes, they ignite hope. In biotech labs, they fuel a race faster than the genome itself. The promise is staggering. The risks are real. But one thing is clear: the age of treating illness is ending. The age of editing humanity has begun. Number 7. Decentralized tech and digital economies rise. It began as an experiment. A few lines of code. A peer-to-peer ledger. A rebellion against central control. By 2029, that experiment has rewritten the rules of the digital world. The internet is no longer a one-way street ruled by giants. It has fractured into millions of nodes, blockchain-powered, decentralized, and user-owned. Web3 has evolved beyond buzzwords. It is now the architecture of finance, identity, and ownership. In this new economy, banks are no longer the gatekeepers. Smart contracts execute deals in seconds. NFTs aren't just art, they're land titles, diplomas, medical records. Your digital wallet is your ID, your bank, your passport to a new economy that never sleeps. And the state is not far behind. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, have become mainstream in major economies. The dollar, the euro, the yuan, all digitized. Programmable. Trackable. Transactable without ever touching a bill. Work itself has shifted. People earn crypto for creating, curating, coding, even gaming. Micropayments flow across borders like electricity. Every transaction transparent. Every asset traceable. But not everyone cheers. Decentralization disrupts. Regulators scramble. Power shifts. Privacy becomes a battlefield. The question is no longer if digital economies will dominate, it's who will control them. The infrastructure is built. The old system is cracking. And the next global economy is already online, distributed, encrypted, and irreversible. The future of money isn't printed. It's minted. Number 8. Education and work reinvented. The 9-to-5 grind is fading. The classroom is no longer confined to four walls. By 2029, the way we work, learn, and live has undergone a radical transformation. The traditional career path, a job for life, a steady office, a predictable paycheck, has been replaced by something more fluid, more dynamic. Work is now project-based, a series of gigs connected by skills rather than titles. People aren't hired for what they've done, but for what they can do next. Adaptability is the new currency. Education follows suit. The days of earning a degree and hoping it lasts a lifetime are gone. Micro-credentialing has taken over. Individuals earn certifications for specific, marketable skills, stacking them like building blocks. A person's value is no longer defined by their degree, it's defined by their knowledge, adaptability, and expertise. AI-driven tutors and personalized learning platforms have replaced the one-size-fits-all classroom. Students now have access to real-time, customized instruction that evolves with their needs and pace. The learning never stops, because work never stops. And the concept of a career for life, it's now an anachronism. The future belongs to those who can pivot, who can thrive in a world where every project, every role, is an opportunity to grow. The future isn't just a job, it's a journey, a series of constantly evolving steps. And the destination? It's built by the skills you master, not the titles you hold. The workforce is no longer a ladder. It's a network of possibilities.